Hello, PEP scholars. Welcome to another ability test session. For those who are just joining us for the first time this year, let me say Happy New Year, Happy 2022, and all the best for the continuation of the school year and for the entire 2022. I hope you are coming into this new term, this new year, with renewed zest and determination to make the best of your education. So today being Tuesday, we're going to look at our ability test and what we're going to be doing for this week and a few weeks to come. We will at a workshop presentation that was done by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information here in Jamaica, and this document was issued to students, parents, teachers who are preparing for the PEP exam. And so we're going to see what the ministry is saying that they are looking for so that we can deliver, because it's all about delivering to the examining board what they want. It doesn't make any sense you give them what they don't want. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go through with a fine-tooth comb through this document and make sure that we're on the ball. We know exactly what to do. Before I go into that though, I'm going to remind you of the schedule of live classes that we have. We have 5 live PEP classes every week and 6 live CSEC classes every week. So I want you to watch the schedule. For those who are unfamiliar, get your pencils down, write down the dates and the times and what exactly is done during those sessions so that you don't miss a thing. So here goes. Hello, CSEC math students. I know you are busy preparing for your math test and your CSEC exam coming up. I have a very important question to ask. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? Sure you have, other students have. Now in this series we're going to be looking at make with all the topics in math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know problems wrong in mathematics is as a result one single error or one mistake? Well, is absolutely true. And we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make All right, scholars, welcome back. And I'm going to invite some of my in-studio now. At present, I have me and I have Madison with me.
Afternoon.
Okay, welcome, Jaden. Madison, welcome.
Good evening, Miss. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. All right, I'm going to open up my presentation now with the ability test. Just give me a second with that. It's like everything glitching tonight. PowerPoint don't want to open. Oh boy. Okay. Jaden, fretting about what I have your hand at your jaw.
I'm not fretting about nothing.
Fretting about PEP.
I am. Miss, I'm wondering where is everyone else?
Oh, well, here sends apologies. He can't be with us tonight. And Amari is to be with us, but he chat tonight. So we're gonna have to hold the fort. But let me know if you can see the presentation now. Screen.
Miss, I don't see it. Oh, now I see it. I guess I was just lagging a lot.
You're seeing it now?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so we just have to do these switches. On this, we're dealing with manual subjects, and they do go haywire from time to time. In that, I'm seeing John, I'm seeing Amari. Anusha was here earlier. I'm hoping she can join. For all those who are in the chat and those who are with us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and elsewhere in the universe, wherever you are, welcome. So we're going to go straight now into our ability. So this was the student camp 2021. This was put on by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information in Jamaica. So that was last year. And we actually have, this is booklet 1, and we'll be going through 4 booklets that were from this camp, the student camp. So we're starting booklet 1 now. All right. The booklet is telling us the different types of questions that we are likely to see on the PEP ability test. It's not to see all of these types of questions every time, but these are the possible types of questions that you're going to see. So the first question we're looking at tonight is called the anthology. And according to the document, it says these types of questions consist of a pair of words with a particular relationship to each other. And your goal is to identify the relationship and use it to select the best word to complete a second pair of words. Let me read that again. That was a mouthful, and we need to know that we understand exactly what the statement is saying. So let's go again. The analogy. These types of questions consist of a pair of words with a particular relationship to each other, and your goal is to identify the relationship and use it to select the best word to complete a second pair of words. So for example, time is to clock as temperature is to what? So we have a young man here on the screen, and he's saying, let's see, how can I approach this question? What is the relationship between time and a clock? All right, so it is often useful to turn the analogy into a bridge sentence. And the bridge sentence goes something like this. To tell the time, I look on a clock. So to tell the temperature, what do I look on? Right? What do I use to tell the temperature? So we are encouraged then, when we're dealing with the analogy, to form bridge sentences to show the relationship. So you identify the relationship between the first 2 things, and then you follow on that and say, okay, if that is the situation, then I want a similar situation for these 2 words. So Jaden, do this first one for me. Time is the clock as temperature is to, and the options are A, heat, B, cold, C, barometer, and D, thermometer.
Miss Thermometer, because the clock tells you the time, while the clock tells you the time, while the thermometer tells you your temperature.
All right, and that is correct, right? So we use a clock to tell time, and in a similar way, the thermometer is used to tell the temperature. All right, so let's practice. Madison, can you read that first item for me?
Okay,
let's
Miss. Let's practice. Think about how the first pair of words are related to each other. Then look at the next word and choose a word that is related to it in the same way. 1. What is the spider as nest is to? A. Bush, B. Cat, C. Tree, or D. Bird? Let's practice. Think about how the first pair of words are related to each other. Then look at the next word and choose a word that is related to it in the same way. Number 1. What is the spider as nest is to? A. Bush. Miss, what's the next one?
Oh, hold on. So A, bush, star, C, tree, and D, bird.
Okay, Miss.
So A, bush,
Should I give
B, cat, sorry. um, C, tree, and D, bird.
Miss, should I give you the answer?
So go ahead. Yes, Madison, go ahead. Tell me first
D bird.
what your bridge sentence is.
Um, Miss, a web is what a spider lives in or stays in, and a nest is what a bird stays in or lives in. So that explains my answer, and that's my bridge sentence.
Right. So Madison's saying her choice is D, bird, and her bridge sentence is a spider builds or stays in a web, and a bird builds or stays in a nest. All right, so that is correct. All right, so I want to welcome Dreshan. He's joining us live in the Dreshan. Your camera working? Dreshan? All right, Jaden, back to you. Read the next item for me.
Leaf is to tree as petal is to. A A stem, B flower, C garden, or D bike. I would go with flower. Number 2. Leaf is the tree as petal is to. A stem, B flower, C garden, and D bike. My answer is flower.
Let me hear your bridge sentence.
My bridge sentence is a leaf. A leaf is used to absorb sunlight to help.
No, Jaden. Tell me your bridge sentence should tell the relationship between the leaf and the tree.
No, that was a part of my bridge sentence.
Pardon me?
A leaf is what a tree uses to absorb sunlight, and a petal is also what a flower uses to absorb sunlight.
All right, that can go, Jaden, but that is a stretch. That's quite a stretch. Can you think of a simpler analogy for the leaf and the tree? The petal and the flower? You're not wrong, but it's a stretch. Meaning it's not an obvious analogy. So can you think of something that is more obvious or more direct? Or Madison, what would you say as a bridge sentence for this one.
Sorry, miss. I would say that the tree has leaves and the flower has petals.
All right, so that's a very simple way of putting it, right, Jaden? It's not that you were wrong. I was looking for a more direct connection for those students who would not be privy to um, the flower, the leaf absorbing sunlight, and that kind of thing, right? So you are not wrong. A simpler analogy: the leaf grows on a tree, or several leaves make a tree, several petals make a flower. All right, so let's go on to the next. Number 3. So it's your turn, Madison.
3. Chef is to restaurant as doctor is to A. Market, B. Clinic, C. Patient, or D. Medicine. Number 3. Chef is to restaurant as doctor is to A. Market, B. Clinic, C. Patient, or D. Medicine. My bridge sentence is that a chef works in a restaurant or owns a restaurant, and a doctor works or owns a clinic. So my answer would be B, clinic.
All right, that is correct. What would you say to a student who would say, but a doctor sees patients, or a doctor uses medicine, so why can't I choose patient or medicine?
Because
Would you
that's
say to that student?
because the chef isn't talking about like the people who they're cooking for or what they used to cook. They're just talking about the building or where they work.
Okay, so what would have been a good analogy if I said doctor is to patient as chef is to what? What would correspond to that?
Miss, I don't know if there's a certain name for people who a chef cooks for, but whatever
If
that
you
word is
go
fitting.
into a restaurant to eat, you are a what?
Miss, a customer?
You can say customer, you can say diner, patron, all of those words could go. And suppose I said doctor is to medicine as chef is to what?
Food?
Food.
Right, food, right. So in other words, then, these two words, patient and medicine, they do have something to do with the doctor, but they don't fit in this particular analogy, because the first two words, chef and restaurant, they show the relationship of place, where the chef works. So we're looking for where the doctor works. All right, Jaden, back to you. Can you read the next item for me, please? Oh no, not yet, Jaden. So we're at another kind of PEP ability test question, and this one is called classification. So let us the ministry is saying they're looking for in this type of classification type question. This type of question offers you 4 words. All the words are related to one another in one way. However, words is odd. That means it does not fit in with the others. And your goal is to select the odd word. To do this, you will first have to determine what all the words have in common, and then choose the word that is different. So in the classification type of question, it offers you 4 words. All the words are related to one another in some way. However, one of the words is odd, meaning it does not fit in with the others, and your goal is to select the odd word. To do this, you will first have to determine what all the words have in common and then choose the word that is different. For example, which one does not belong in the group? We have A, sneakers, B, water boots, C, gloves, and D, slippers. And of course, we have our little guy again saying, let's see, how are these things related? All of the items are worn on the body, so they all have something in common. But there's one of them that stands out. It's different from the others in some way. Only the gloves are worn on the hands. All the other items are worn on the feet. So gloves is the odd one out. So let's practice. All right, go now, Jaden. Read that item for me.
Let's practice. Number 1. Choose the. It's kind of blurred for me, so choose the one which is different from the rest. A, inch. B, kilogram. C, centimeter. D, yard. How are all these items alike? Which one is the odd one out and why is it different? Miss, I have B, kilogram, because a kilogram is used to measure weight, while inches, centimeters, and yards are used to measure length.
Okay, and kilogram is used to measure what?
Weight.
That is correct. Okay, so what they all have in common is that are units of measurement. They are all units of measurement. However, as Jaden rightly said, the inch, the centimeter, and the yard are used to measure length or distance, while the kilogram is used to measure weight or how heavy something is. All right, Madison, next question.
Number 2. Choose the one which is different from the rest. A, tire. B, engine. C, car. D, steering wheel. Number 2. Choose the one which is different from the rest. A, tire. B, engine. C, car. D, steering wheel. Miss, I would say
First of all,
car.
how are they alike?
All of them are components of a
All alike.
car.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are parts of a car. But I would say the odd one out is car, because all the rest are parts of the car, but the car is just the thing that all those parts make up.
Okay, all right. Makes sense. That makes sense. Then question 3.
Number 3. Choose the one that is different from the rest. A, lion. B, leopard. C, elephant. And D, tiger. How are these items alike? Which is the odd one out and why is it different? My answer is C, elephant, because the lion, leopard, and tiger are all big cats, while the elephant is a mammal. Well, it is a mammal, but it is not a big cat.
Okay, so how are they all alike, first of all?
They're all mammals.
Okay, good. So they're all mammals. And how did you say they are different?
Lion, leopard, and tiger are all big cats, while an elephant isn't a
Okay,
big cat.
all right. Very good, Jaden. All right, so now we come to another type of question, and this is called the essential part. For this type of question, you must identify which part from a given list is an absolute necessity. That is the component or part that must be present to exist, function, or happen. The underlined word in bold is the one you should focus on in order to decide the most important or essential element, component, or feature. For example, what must every television have in order to function? All right, so that's more than a mouthful. Definitely need to read this one again. So the essential part for this type of question, you must identify which part from a given list is an absolute necessity. That is the component or part that must be present if an item, process, action, or condition is to exist, function, or happen. The underlined word in bold is the one you should focus on in order to decide what is the most important or essential element, component, or feature. For example, what must every television have in order to function? Okay, so is it A, remote control, B, a cable, C, Netflix, or D, a screen? So let's see, which one of these could a television not work without? What do you guys say? Is it the remote control, the cable, Netflix, or the screen? Which
The
one must?
screen. The screen,
The
miss.
screen, right. Okay. So without the screen, we will not be able to watch the television. Therefore, the screen is an essential part. Could a television work without a remote control? Yes or no?
It could work without one, miss.
Right. When I was growing up, we didn't have anything called a remote control. You had to get up and go and press the button or turn the knob, and then you go back to your seat. So definitely you can watch a television without a remote control. Could a television work without cable?
It could, miss.
Definitely. And it can work without Netflix,
It definitely
but
can.
it definitely cannot work without a screen. So that is the essential part. All right, so let's practice. Whose turn is it? Madison?
It's medicine turns, miss.
Madison. All right, go ahead, Madison.
Number 1. Which of these ingredients must every drink have? A. Ice cubes. B. Lime juice. C. Sweetener. D. Liquid. Number 1. Which of these ingredients must every drink have? A. Ice cubes. B. Lime juice. C. Sweetener. D. Liquid. Miss, I say D. Liquid.
All right, I agree. We can have a drink that doesn't have ice. We can have a drink that doesn't have lime juice. We can have a drink that doesn't have anything sweet in it. We have very sour drinks, or just not sweet. So, for example, milk is a drink, but in order for it to be a drink, it has to be a liquid. So liquid is the essential part. Jaden, question 2.
Number 2. These must be included to have a rest, miss. Directions. Directions? Read it.
I think you have to read out the options.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A. Desserts.
The options.
B. Yes, miss. B. Directions. C. Cookbook. Oh, and D. Utensils. As I my estimate is
Okay. So usually I would want you to read question twice for those who missed it the first time. So Jaden, just read the question again and tell me your answer, why.
Okay, miss. Number 2. Which of these must be included in order to have a recipe? A. Desserts. B. Directions. C. Cookbook. Or D. Utensils. I choose B. Directions because a recipe is a direction on how to make something.
Okay, and let me acknowledge my scholars in the chat, posting their answers. Cash marks, directions. Amari also said directions for question 2. Madison, can you go on to question 3?
Okay, miss. Number 3. Which of these is an essential feature of a vibration? A. Friction. B. Power. C. Motion. Or D. Echo. Number 3. An essential feature of a vibration. A. Friction. B. Power. C. Motion. Or D. Echo. Miss, I say motion.
Why do you say motion?
Because first, in order to have something to vibrate, you have to give it motion or it has to be moving for it to make a vibration.
All right, that's correct. That's correct. In order for vibration to occur, we have to have movement, motion. All right, so the next set of questions in the PEP ability test that you are likely to see is called the artificial language. And this type of question will require you to analyze words based on an invented language and derive rules or patterns about them. You will then have to use these rules and patterns to figure out all words in the made-up language. So let me read that again. In the artificial language type question, this type of question will require you to analyze words based on an invented language and derive rules or patterns from them. You will then have to use these rules and patterns to figure out other words in this made-up language. So, for example, the words in bold below come from an artificial language. Examine the meaning of each word and then answer the question that follows. So we have hyphenslock means fill, and merslop means blue cup, and ruspen hyphon means landfill. So which word could mean fill bottle? Is it slockresham, hyphon schmal, smalruspock, or mersolit? So based on the pattern that we see, so let's break it down. Since hyphon slot means fill cup, slock is at the end of hyphon slot, so we know that slot means cup. Merslock means blue cup, so again we see the pattern. Slock means cup, and which word would mean fill bottle? All right, so we know that using the we know that it cannot have cup, cannot have slock in it. So we can rule out, which two words can we rule out there?
Miss, we can rule out.
Miss,
We can rule out nothing.
We can
A,
rule out A, right? Okay.
A, C, and D.
D also has slock.
I'm pretty sure A is the only one that has slock in it.
Okay, all right.
Oh, Miss, I
So
thought you meant
we're
all of
looking
them
for
to rule
fill
out.
then. We're looking for fill, right? Hyphen, hyphen means fill.
But
So the word that we're looking, hyphen, sorry. The word that we're looking for must have hyphen
at the start.
since at the start because it wants fill bottle. Therefore, which option is the one?
B. Hyphen
B.
small.
All right.
Hyphen small.
All right. So as usual, they're going to give us some practice in the artificial language. Whose turn is it? I keep losing track of whose turn. Is it Jaden? You're also you're losing track as well because I have to break to explain the type of question. So I kind of
I'm pretty
lost
sure
track.
it's I'm pretty sure it's my turn, miss.
All right, go ahead, Jaden. So question one.
Let's practice. Number one. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Kren Imblaf means workforce. Dirit Dirits Akrenkik Krenkin means groundwork. Krekinal Krekinalty means workplace. Which word could mean someplace? Number one. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Krekinblaf means workforce. Drit Dritsa means groundwork. Crankinalty and means workplace. Which word could mean someplace?
All right, what do you say, Jaden? Based on the pattern.
Miss, I say my answer would be A, morality.
All right, why do you say that?
Because it seems like alti means place
Okay.
and and A is the only one with alti. And in the option and in the
Is A the only one with alti?
well, the only one with alti at the end.
Is
Cause
it?
yes, no.
How
Drit
about D?
D has
Miss,
drit alti.
Miss,
Uh,
may I
But
explain?
drit does mean, I'm pretty sure drit means ground.
okay, all right. Right. So that's the reason why we're ruling out D because it has drita and we
Drita
based
means
on
ground.
right. Drita cracking meant groundwork, so we
Yeah.
know that drita means ground. All right, so you're correct. Madison, your turn, number two.
Sorry. 2. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Pleka plaki means fruitcake. Paki shillen means cakewalk. Treft allen means buttercup. Which word could mean cupcake? A. Shillen allen. B. Treft pleka. C. Paki treft. Or D. Allen paki. Number 2. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Peka paki means fruitcake. Paki shillen means cakewalk. Treft allen means buttercup. Which word could mean cupcake? A. Shillen allen. B. Treft pleka. C. Paki treft. Or D. Allen paki.
All right, what do you say?
I say D. Sorry, not D. C. Paki treft. Because from what we're seeing above, paki means cake. So, sorry. Sorry, D. Allen
Yeah,
paki.
D.
Paki
Okay,
means cake, and cupcake has paki at the end. So
right.
Alan paki could mean
Alan
that.
Paki.
Because it
And
couldn't
in
be C because
buttercup,
it has Paki at the beginning, right?
yes, miss. And in
Okay,
buttercup, Alan is at the end, which means cup. So Alan paki would mean cupcake.
correct. All right, Jaden, another artificial language.
Okay, number 3. Here are some words translated from an artificial language. Mulun Karn means blue sky. Wilkospadi means bicycle race. Mulu Wilco means blue bicycle. Which word could mean race car? Number 3. Some words translated from an artificial language. Mulukarn means blue sky. Wilkospadi means bicycle race. Mulu Wilco means blue bicycle. Which word could mean race car?
Okay, what say you?
Is I'm going to have to count
Based on
the amount. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
count them.
Miss, I was counting them to see if they have the same amount of the gibberish has the same amount of letters as the actual word.
But isn't there
But
any
you
other
know,
clue?
well,
No
yeah,
other clue?
spotty. Yes, Miss is there, which is race. So
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
it's
But Spuddy is in two of them. So what else you gonna do?
car.
Spuddy is in B and D. So which one is it?
Miss, it's D. Because even though B has spotty at the beginning, which would be race, Wilco
Mm-hmm.
means bicycle, meaning it will
Okay.
translate to race, bicycle. But Volo does not have a translation here, meaning it could be car.
Okay. Very good. Mm-hmm. Excellent work. Excellent deduction, scholars.
Thank you, Miss.
Let's go on to another type of question. You see how many different types of questions? And these are not even the only ones.
I do
The
see.
PEP ability test, it has several different types of questions. So this one is called sequencing. And these types of questions will require you to analyze patterns, then use them to determine what should be next based on the established order. For example, which is next in the sequence? If we have CE, FH, LK, or is that IK? IK. So let's see, how can I approach this question? Have you figured out the pattern? Let me read that again. In the sequencing, these types of questions will require you to analyze patterns, then use them to determine what should be next based on the established order. All right, so if, for example, we have a sequence CE, FH, IK, can you figure out what is the pattern? What are they doing there in this sequence? Anyone? Can you figure out the pattern? Jaden, any clues?
Yes, I don't have a clue. Madison's saying JL.
Madison,
Miss, I
go
say
ahead.
JL because CE
Because,
it skips D, then FH it skips G, then IK it skips J, sorry, and then
J.
JL would give you the
Okay. All right. So that is
Actually, no,
correct.
miss.
The
It would
answer is CMMN.
yes, it would be
Yeah.
MN.
The
Sorry.
sequence is to jump two letters, not just one, right? So they're skipping two letters. Oh, sorry, it's a different one I'm doing. Sorry. My
Miss,
bad.
I was confused. It was
My
supposed to
bad.
be
So
LN. It was supposed to be LN,
yeah,
not JL.
right. So for this one is LN, they're skipping one letter. For this other one, no, where we have AZDWGTJQ, what are they doing here? And it says use the alphabet to find the next pair of letters. So focus on the alphabet there and see the pattern that they're doing with these letters.
Miss,
So we have AZ. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
they're um they're going by their order. So if we're doing A,
Miss,
which is the first,
they're skipping two letters and they're contrasting it to they're contrasting it each one. So A is the first letter, Z is the last letter.
Okay, so they're going
D
first to last, right? So A to Z, and
D
then
and
which
then
one
they
would
skip.
correspond with the D? The D is fourth from the top,
Miss, they're
so
skipping
W
two.
is fourth
So
from
yeah,
the back,
W.
right? And then the G now is seventh from the top, so we just need to count seven from the bottom and we get T, and so on. So the MN would fall in the middle because the M is 13 from the front and the N is 13 from the back, right? So that's the sequencing. So let's do some practice with the sequencing type question. All right, Jaden, look at that sequence and see if you can figure out the pattern that they're using.
Okay, Miss. Number one. QPO NML KJI dash EDC. Okay, Miss. They're go- the pattern is they're picking a trio of letters and each one is backwards in the alphabet.
Okay, very good. So which one is missing?
Miss, it's yeah, A F G H because there's
HGF,
H G F because
right? Because it's
A
going
C
backwards.
E E F
Mhm.
G H.
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Madison, look at this pattern and see if you can figure out the sequence.
okay, Miss. Number two. Arrange the words given below in a meaningful sequence. One word, D paragraph, three sentence, four letters, five phrase. The options are A 41523, B 41532, C 41352, or D 42513. Miss, I'm coming.
Okay. All right, so let me read that again until Madison gets back. Number two, arrange the words given below in a meaningful sequence. One word, two paragraph, three sentence, four letters, five phrase, and the options are A 41523, B 41532, C 41352, or D 42513. Are you back, Madison?
Yes, sis, I say B 41532, which
So
would be
that would be
which would be
what?
Um, letters, word, letters, word, phrase, sentence.
Correct. So that is an order from big to small or small to big.
Miss small to big.
Small to
Small
big.
to big, right. So we have the letters first. Letters make words. Words make phrases. Phrases make sentences. Sentences make paragraphs. Jaden, number 3.
Number 3. Arrange the following words in a logical sequence. Number 3. Wait, the options are 1 chair, 2 wood, 3 seed, 4 plant, 5 tree. Number 3. Arrange the following words in a logical sequence. Number 1 chair, 2 wood, 3 seed, 4 plant, and 5 tree.
Okay, so what order would you put them in logically?
Miss, my order would be 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. That would be seed, plant, tree, wood, and chair.
Okay, very good, Jaden. That's a logical sequence.
Yes, miss.
All right. All right, let me check the time. We're just about at our mark, and I'm going to end it here, but there are types of questions. Of course, next week we're going to continue. Next week, Tuesday, when we do our ability tests, again, we're going to continue looking at different types of questions that are likely to come ability test. Now, the PEP ability test is scheduled to be done in a few weeks from now, at sometime in February. We're in January now. So it's very important
It's
that
coming
you
February
catch
28th.
all of these right. So in a few weeks, I would say 6, 7 weeks from now. So make sure you catch all of the PEP ability test classes on a Tuesday. Also, make sure you catch all of the other PEP classes, the performance tasks, critical thinking classes, curriculum-based tests. We actually have two performance tasks per week on a Monday and on a Wednesday. And I'm going to be playing that schedule for you again right as we wrap up. I want to thank Jaden and Madison for being with me in studio. I also want to thank my scholars in the chat who were posting their answers. I'm seeing all your answers and I'm following your logic. Those who posted their reasoning behind the answers, I'm grateful to you in that. Join us again tomorrow when we'll do our performance task class. So I'll see you then. Good night, scholars, and take care.
Bye, miss. Bye, Madison. Bye, miss.
math students. I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. No, another important. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? Sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series we're going to be looking at the common mistakes students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series. So stay tuned. Hello scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong, mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely fine. We're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my